Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And a very warm welcome to the NMUC podcast. Viewers, we are back here again for another episode. And this time around, we have our visitor, Mr. Lim, a very young and dynamic logistician. Mr. Lim, welcome to our NMUC podcast.
Hi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And would you like to share with our viewers about yourself, about your background?
Yep. So, hi everyone. Nice meeting you all. Thanks for inviting me on this podcast as well. So, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Johor Bahru. This year I'm 36 years old. I'm born in the year of snake, and happy Chinese New Year if there's any Chinese out there. Now is Chinese New Year time. Okay, so growing up in Johor Bahru, I used to study in Johor Bahru. Very simple life until mid-age, about 18, 19 years old. I went abroad to New Zealand to continue my university studies over there. Used to be a very bad kid, not good grades, not good at studying at all. But nowadays, I'm doing fine. So doesn't mean that bad grades get you nowhere. It's just the willingness to do, later on in life. So anyway, I study in New Zealand. My major is in business and this international business and marketing. So after I finished my this degree in this New Zealand, Wellington, I fly back to Singapore to get a job in a very young and dynamic industry in advertising. So starting my job in Singapore as this project manager in advertising and creative agency is a very fun job. It has nothing to do with logistics, right? It's a very fun and very young industry. But then in Singapore, at that point of time, I was thinking that in this very competitive age of economy, everyone is talking about technology, right? My point of view at that point, after 4 years working in Singapore, is that much more of younger workforce will join into the tech industry. So by then, in the future, you will have much more competition to look for a job, to survive in the industry. So looking back at Johor Bahru, Malaysia, my father is very lucky enough to have his own company, a shipping company, a freight forwarding company, right? I was looking back then, what are the opportunities in Malaysia? And quite frankly, there's a lot of opportunities back then, or even now, right? In 2025, there's still a lot of room for improvement in logistics, in port, in logistic related this industry. And quite frankly, there's not enough use for technologies. So what I did, I made a really bold move to quit my Singapore job. Back then, it was about one Singapore dollar to 2.6. Back then, when I quit, so it's a very bold move that I made to quit and come back to Malaysia, right? The reason being, again, I saw a lot of room for improvement and within the industry, so it gives us more jobs and opportunities in the future. That is why I quit from a very young industry to a very traditional and so-called old man industry, a hard work labor industry, right? So that is basically the first part of my life, from education to working in Singapore as a tech project manager, and coming back to Malaysia. Just to touch on a little bit more, at that point of time when I quit my Singapore job, I got this salary of 5,000 plus SGD, Singapore dollar. And when I quit to come back, because it's my father's company and he have shareholders, he only offered me about 2,000 ringgit. Okay, there's a huge jump for me. So that's why I said I make a very bold move, but I never regret it. Because there's a lot of room for improvements. And if you can improve in this industry, you can grow very fast. Your salary, your career path, everyone need talent in this Malaysia as in the logistic industry. Yeah.
Interesting, a very interesting journey that you have. Mr. Lim, would you like to share a bit about your journey, your professional journey? You know, when you came here to Malaysia, joined your father company, and I believe that now your company is part of the public listed company group. So maybe you would like to share with our viewers how is that journey? You started that about 10 years ago. So maybe would you like to share a bit more on that?
Yes. Okay. I came back in 2015 after I quit my job. So started off in one of my father's company as a freight forwarding this salesperson, right? So I work from the bottom, which is at the very bottom, getting a salary of 2,000 ringgit, as I mentioned. Doing cold calling, knocking door to door sales, going out visit the customer, starting from this salesperson. I think it's the best way that to know your client's need is by going out to do sales. So I started from sales, cold calling, sales. Later on, I progressed into more towards planning. Just planning in terms of haulage planning because we are dealing with container logistics. So who are our main target customer is manufacturers. So when we go to manufacturers, you get their business, you need to do planning for them. And yes, we do have our internal employee. At that point, to me, maybe my standards are a little bit high. So I sort of do the planning on my own. So I learned about operations.
Okay.
In terms of planning, the movement of hauliers, as well as declaration. So it's really a A to Z, this experience from the first year until the third year, right? So this is the first part of my career path. So the third year onwards, a little bit of frustration sort of stepped in because first, again, is the competition around the market. By then, we don't have our own haulier. We only have our own forwarding company, our own shipping company to East Malaysia, as well as international freight forwarding. We don't have our own haulage arm. So, hauliers, by then, they are not committed to freight forwarder services. For example, if I book this transportation to truck in this container at a certain date, the haulier that I subcontract to might not truck in the container. So on the third year, I was very frustrated. So I convinced both of my boss that I want to go ahead to help them set up this haulage company called Mewa Trans.
I see.
Mewa Trans Logistics, starting from a 5 prime mover fleet. Now we grow into a 45 prime mover fleet in just 6 years. Yeah, we have about 250 trailers total. Yeah. So the back end idea of me setting up the company because I want my company to sustain the services in terms of services and pricing. So the mindset of me wanting to improve is still there. So linking back to why I quit my this job in Singapore, it has never changed in the mindset. Because at that point, my mindset is I want to improve, whatever logistics or my father's company is doing, right? So naturally, in the third year, I set up the haulier company, which perfectly complemented all our these movements as well as committed service to our customer. So the retention, those few years are there.
Right.
For me, myself, aside from work, the mentality of improving is also there. That's why I also joined this association called Johor Ports Shipping and Forwarding Association. Again, the mentality is to improve whatever industry, the association to help the industry. But then, of course, we are still in progress. I'm still in progress of doing so. Yeah.
Maybe would you like to share with us, with our viewers, what sort of challenges did you face, in the logistic and maritime industry, and moving forward, how do you overcome those challenges?
Speaking from this business entrepreneur point of view, right? There's a lot of challenges. Of course, first is you need to have a very solid knowledge and background as well as cash flow and so on to set up all these things. But in terms of if you are speaking from this environment standpoint, the challenges is moving in such a fast pace. In Malaysia, actually, we are trying to cut down, our labor force to save costs because people can't afford higher logistic costs, right? So I believe it happens throughout every business as well today. So that is why we are looking at digitalization, AI, semi-planning for our haulage.
Right.
Right.
That's
So
very interesting.
yes.
Yeah.
So all this we are studying, but again we face challenges in terms of if you want to digitalize, for example, you have higher costs as well to develop a system, which you need to convince the board, the management to invest in such a system for cost savings and whether it will work out in the future or not, right? Talking about cost saving, coming back to the business a little bit, we set up our own haulier during the third year and progress to the this year is the sixth year. So in the middle, actually, we set up our own workshop arm as well called Mewa Auto Works. Mewa Auto Works, the base why we set up this company is because we want to improve the market workshop industry. The workshop industry nowadays is still very traditional, meaning that they don't give a customer the insights. For example, your top 10 spending vehicle, then you are dealing with as a truck owner. Top 10 spending spare part, for example, there's no insights or data or status update.
So like you're using data analytics in your maintenance of the vehicles.
Correct. So whoever that comes into our workshop will have this application that they can see their life status, their check-in and check-out time, their cost approval. More importantly is the big data that we help generate to help them analyze their truck costs, their overheads, and so on. So again, the mentality is to help improve the industry as well as help myself, because I have a fleet of hauliers. So it perfectly complemented this my haulier company as well. So we believe that if we have a smooth operation and cost, the whole company will sort of run very well. 2023, finally, we managed to joint venture with this public listed company, East Malaysia public listed company called Xingyang Group Berhad. They are also doing shipping, logistics. They are very big in East Malaysia. Yep. So these are some of the career path as well as challenges that we face along the way.
I have a question. You mentioned about having your own workshop.
Yeah.
Was this part of your vertical or horizontal expansion strategy, or was it part of your sustainability initiative?
Okay, it's a little bit of both. Okay, yeah. So when I first joined, again, I didn't expect that I will set up a haulier company or a workshop company. You see, in fact, my boss, which is my dad, used to say that we don't want so much stress and trouble. But to me, if we don't think about innovating on all these things, we might lose out, in the future as a business. So for me, as a young entrepreneur with the right team, I think we should do it, right? So it's a little bit of both this expanding strategy as well as sustainability. Expanding in terms of you're trying to grab the market from the outer market, right? So that's why, hence, for example, the workshop, we innovated the app to let customers sustain in our workshop, as well as benefit ourselves, which is Mewa Auto Works will benefit Mewa Trans because it's such a good workshop.
So it's going to complement each other.
Yes, correct. It's going to complement each other, as well as Mewa Auto Works have its standalone business as well. It's not just relying on Mewa Trans, right? We are a standalone business. We wanted to get outside business. So what I want to say is innovation to me is very, very important to sustain. Not just for my own company. Yes, of course, it's part of the strategy, but what we are thinking of is, again, how can I do better in the market? How can I do better in today's world? Right? How can I? There's no bad ideas to me. It's whether we can make it useful, practical, and cost effective. Yeah.
Interesting views. I understand today you have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Netherlands Maritime University College. How do you see this collaboration with Netherlands Maritime University College?
Okay. First of all, congratulations again on your achievement. We met before site a long time ago. I think it's 6 years ago.
Yes.
So through this Johor Port Shipping and Folding Association. So again, congrats on that. The achievement these few years has been great. The branding has been great. So how we see ourselves collaborating is we want to be this both way communication between companies, our company, as well as this NMUC. We want to provide opportunities to students, as well as we want the best talent in the market to come to us. Yeah, because nowadays the one of the market challenge is talents. To be very honest, and talents with practical knowledge. Yeah. So we can see that MNUC is really implementing a lot of technical as well as practical field this experience to your syllabus and to your courses. So we really want that talent from university. So that is why we choose to work with this NMUC and sign an MOU today. Yeah.
How from a student perspective?
Yep.
I'm sure this MOU will provide some good opportunities for students. How do you see what sort of benefits that the students will get from this MOU?
Okay. First, I'm a very practical boss. Whoever that work with me knows that I'm a very practical person. So, what students can get is a very let's say, for example, if you have an internship with Mewa Exam, actually you can have a lot of on-field experience. We have 5 companies under our wing, which is specializing in transportation, freight forwarding, workshop, and so on. So we we can rotate them around to have different experience and feel what is going on in the field and operation. So it's more towards practical this training for them. And I'm sure that whoever that turn with us will benefit greatly, than other companies. I'm very confident to tell you that. Moreover, what Meva Exim is trying to achieve again is locking in talent. For example, at the end of your internship, we hope that we can sign a contract with the students. If the students is good, and straight away offer them a job straight out of college. I believe not much university is doing the bridge there. So we hope that MNUC also can be the bridge on this contract and let us lock in the talent. Yeah. So towards a student, you have a secure job after you graduate. You know that you are working for a young and dynamic company who wants to innovate and improve. Stress is always going to be there, but you work for a purpose. Yeah.
And would you like to share with us the future directions of your company? Where do you see your organization probably in the next 5 or 10 years?
Yeah. Okay. Right after the joint venture in 2023, actually we have a branch in Portland. We are also doing our main business in terms of freight forwarding and haulage. So really, in the next 5 years, expansion is of course number one. We are expanding our fleet as well as getting more international contracts and business. Second is now we are starting to do our digitalization. A lot of innovating involved. So we definitely need a younger workforce. Yes, workforce in the market. We like ideas. Again, we never say it's a bad ideas. So that is why we need a younger workforce. Yeah. So I think it's really these two over the next 5 years, digitalization as well as expanding.
Expansions.
Expansion of our business.
Very interesting. I'm sure students will have a very good time with your organization. A question that I've always asked all my guests is that during pandemic, many organizations went through a lot of transformation.
Yes.
Because the pandemic has actually shaken everybody
Yes.
to the core, and many couldn't even survive. For that matter, and we heard many companies closing down for various reasons during the pandemic. How did you or your organization manage to overcome those challenges and during that pandemic?
Yeah. I think in terms of industry, logistics is one of the industry that never closed down during the pandemic. So we are still doing fine, right? But towards your question, how do we bite through the pandemic is again linking back to our company that we set up to self-sustain in terms of cost, right? Imagine that 6 years ago, if we didn't innovate as well as set up the haulier, during pandemic, if the customer is trying to cut your price or squeeze your price, you might never survive. There's no more business for you because the cost is not sustainable. Whereas if you have your own haulage company or trucking company, you can adjust your costs on your own internally. So it becomes sustainable and you can sustain the business throughout the pandemic. So I guess it's really, doing preparation as well as looking into the future, what might happen in the market, what is a good opportunity in the market, and try to capture it. That's it.
Thank you. Very interesting views you have. And if I were to summarize, you went into a lot of innovation.
Yeah.
Your new ventures actually helped you a lot
Yes.
to become more flexible and adaptable to any market changes. And then when you see a talent, you really want to have them and grow with your organization. And I see during the break you mentioned about you're very serious about curriculum development. So maybe we would like to have your inputs on how we can transform our syllabus as well. I think that will be very interesting. Before we end this session, any message that you have for our students?
I'm not going to say the traditional work hard, because I'm not a particular good student. Yeah. So, but then what I want to say is try to train up your resilience and work ethic, as well as just have these are hard to learn and contribute. Yeah. We are very happy to have you anytime if you have the willingness to learn as well as contribute. You wouldn't be far from success. Yeah, because you absorb in knowledge as well as give back as well as contribute. You will learn very fast and climb very fast. So just have a good heart in terms of learning and contributing. Be practical about it. Again, no idea is a bad idea, and always have a heart for improving everything.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lim.
Thank you.
Viewers, with that, we have come to the end of our today's podcast. We had a very interesting session with Mr. Lim, who shared his journey with us, and also how he actually transformed his organization, who initially joined as an advertising organization in Singapore, and making a decision to come back to Malaysia, and to be able to see that transformation in his own organization. And I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities for our students, our graduates who would like to join his company Mawa for internship or for job placement. With that, thank you very much. I hope you had a very good session. Thank you, Mr. Lim.
Thank you
for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.